Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. My name is Rose Joshua. Welcome once again to Family and Finance, where we provide you with a lot of information, helpful information that will help you in your decision making. Today, we will go into part 10 of our systemic poverty series. And we have covered parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hope you've been paying attention and following the series. Today is part 10. And part 10, I know, is a surprise for many people, but it's one that is very dear to my heart. So let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. So part 10 is beware of educational shortcuts. So I have a PhD in computer science, and so education is very, very important to me. And I have 5 children, and my children know that education is really, really important to me. Not everybody has taken the path of getting a PhD like mom, but they know the value that I place on education. And so today, for my viewers, I'm hoping that you can connect with me. This topic is my heartbeat. And so I really hope that some people can connect with me on this one. So it says, beware of educational shortcuts. Now, in talking about educational shortcuts, I want to very quickly say that all professions are important. I mean, we have a country that has to be run from ground up. We place a lot of importance on every aspect of the economy. However, today's topic really dwells on people's potential and their ability to push to that potential. I'm not saying that everybody has to be at a particular level, but I'm saying that if you've always wanted or if you have the potential, and particularly if you've always dreamt of being a particular thing, I want to encourage you, challenge you to push for your dreams. That's really where I'm heading for this one. So everyone has a potential, everyone has their dreams. I want to say most people have the resources. My slide says everyone has the resources available to them. I know that in some countries it may not be so, but with specific reference to Canada and the United States, we have all the resources available to us. So then the onus lies on individuals to push to achieve their dreams and to get to that potential. And the very foundation of that is your education. So your education has a direct impact on your socioeconomic status. And when I started talking about systemic poverty, I spent some time explaining the classes, so the lower class, the middle class, the upper class. So your education directly defines where you stay or where you stop in that class system. So when you limit your education, you limit your status. And in many, many cases, it can be a permanent limit. So again, this is one of the areas that makes my heart really bleed sometimes because I see a lot of waste where people give up on their potential for different reasons. So we're going to dwell on some of that. So it is critically important that you choose your career very, very carefully and that you choose it knowing exactly what your dreams are. But many of us take what I call educational shortcuts. So many of us dream of being something, but along the way we change. So here's an example of a young lady who always wanted to be a medical doctor. They're singing as little girls, I want to be a medical doctor. And then in high school, she wants to be a medical doctor, but something changed along the way. So as a kid, we dream to be many things. Some boys say, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be a fireman. When I grow up, I'm going to be a pilot. When I grow up, I'm going to be a policeman, whatever. We dream as kids, but the question is, if you didn't fulfill your dreams and you're grown up already, what happened? What changed? So that's really what we're addressing. So this young girl dreamt of being a medical doctor, but when the time came to make that decision, she changed her mind. And so she decided, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do LPN. Now, again, I'm not saying that LPN is bad. I'm just saying that this young person had the potential and the resources to become a medical doctor, but she changed her mind. And she settled for, oh, well, if I do this other one, I'm still in the medical field, but just not a doctor. It's okay. But that's a huge, huge mistake. And many times people don't come out of that. It's a big trap. It's a big systemic trap. And again, why do people then settle? Most of the time, we look at the pathway that we really want and we go, oh, it's going to take too much time. My God, it's 12 years to be a medical doctor. Oh, it's going to cost too much money. And there's voices in the system that tell you, oh, don't take a student loan. There's voices, terrible voices, I must say, that tell you, oh, it's going to cost too much money. Why would you get a student loan just to be a medical doctor? Lies from the pit of hell, right? So we defeat ourselves because we think it's too much time, it's too much money. We say, oh, what if I don't make it? And that trap of wanting to make money now. You look at your friends and they're making money already. Oh, I don't want to be a student for life. I need to make money now. So there's all kinds of reasons that we take a shortcut. Okay. And the bottom line of it really is lack of foresight. We often say that hindsight is 2020, and that is true. Because many people get to that point and they look back and they go, oh, I wish I had. But by then, it's often too late. So lack of foresight is really the problem. So, but we think that it takes too much time. We think it costs too much money. But the actual truth is that those shortcuts cost more in the long run. So if you take a shortcut and you think, oh, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to start making money now, it's costing you more money in the long run. So just be aware of that. So there's no excuses in Canada or the United States to not pursue your dream. We have everything here. We have everything. So maybe in some countries where there's abject poverty, somebody may want to be a doctor, but it's just a dream, right? But in Canada and the US, no. You have everything you need at your fingertips to be whatever you want to be. But we are the ones who kill ourselves. We are the ones who basically shortchange ourselves. All right. So short-term thinking is the problem, lack of foresight. So let's trace the pathways now. So from age 18 average is when we graduate from high school, to age 65 average is when most people retire. So I want to trace the journey of Miss A, who wanted to be a medical doctor, decided to be an LPN. I want to trace that from age 18 to age 65. And we look at the school time, the cost, and in tracing those, I got numbers from the government, a few government sites and a few job sites in terms of average income. So the assumptions I'm making are really around baseline income. I know that people get raises along the way, but I'm not putting in raises because everyone gets raises, so there's no point. So I'm just going to use the baseline as a comparison. Okay. So pathway number one, life science practical nurse. It's 2 years of post-secondary. So from age 18, she would graduate at age 20. Estimated cost if she took a student loan is about $20,000. Baseline income is $31 an hour. And baseline income to age 65, which is 45 years of work, is $2.9 million. Okay. That is if she stays as an LPN. Again, not including all raises. Pathway number 2, what if she says, well, you know what, maybe I can be a registered nurse instead? Okay, that's fine. She didn't always want to be a registered nurse, but let's say she says, okay, you know what, instead of 12 years of study as a medical doctor, I'll take the shortcut of RN, which is 4 years. Okay. So 4 years post-secondary, graduate at 22, estimated cost, $40,000, student loan, baseline income about $47 an hour. Some people will say, wait, I'm not making that money and I'm an RN. Okay, maybe you're not, but that is what I got from the internet. Average income of a nurse is 47. If you're not earning that, go to your employer. Go have a chat. Okay, baseline income to age 65, which is 65 minus age 22 grad. That's 43 years, and that's $4.2 million. Okay. Pathway number 3, 12 years of post-secondary as a medical doctor, graduate at age 30. So 18 plus 12, that's 30 years. 4 years of paid residency, about 40 grand a year. Estimated cost is about $150,000, yes. Baseline income post residency, $314,000, which is about $151 an hour. Baseline income to age 65, which is 65 minus 30, 35 years, $11.1 million. All right. So putting it all together in one picture, LPN, RN, MD, side by side. You take a shortcut of 2 years, you end up 2.9 million. You take a shortcut, again, I'm saying that these professions are good, but if you've always wanted to do better or higher, that's what I'm talking about. You take a shortcut, RN, $4.2 million. You actually push to your dream $11.16 million. Plus, as an MD, you get the opportunity to have your own clinics. And the other thing is that MDs, if you have your own clinic, you don't retire. You can be working in your own clinic because you're your own boss, age 70, age 80. I've seen MDs who are more than 75 years old. So again, you have that opportunity to do more if you push for your dream of that particular profession. It's not just in medical sciences. There's all kinds of professions in which people take shortcuts. So here's another example. Somebody may want to be a university professor. When I grow up, I'm going to be a prof at a university, but then along the line, they go, oh, why don't I just take an ECE course instead? And then they take an early childhood education course, 2 years, earnings, lifetime, $1.8, $1.9 million, professor, $4 million. Again, I know people will say, it's not just about money. Okay. It's not just about money, but then you end up with other things. Other negative things, apart from losing money, there's other negative things that come into play if you do not push for your dream. We're really aiming at the heart of that dream of when you were a child. So there's all kinds of examples. Some people decide, oh, I'm going to be an electrician instead of being an electrical engineer. Some people say I'm going to be a mechanic instead of being a mechanical engineer. Some people go, oh, I just settled for drafting instead of being an architect. And literally the list just goes on and on and on. And people take shortcuts every day. Very, 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 very expensive shortcuts, okay? Many, many destinies are buried in the graves and cemeteries of hasty shortcuts. When we decide that we want to take a shortcut from our ultimate dream, we bury our destiny. We fail God. We fail our purpose. So that's very unfortunate, but that is the reality of the fact. So I'm really hoping that this is, striking somebody, especially you young ones, Don't give up on your dream because you want to make money fast. It's a big, huge mistake. Okay. So there's other things that come into play when you decide to give up on your calling, on your dreams. You lock yourself into a specific class. So if you decide to be an LPN, you lock yourself into lower class, period. You basically shut the door against yourself when you take shortcuts. And as a result, you earn less, so your quality of life is less, right? And you permanently lose certain opportunities. Like if you're a medical doctor, you can open your own clinic. If you're an LPN, you don't have a clinic to open, unless you want to open clinics and hire doctors, right? But you need a lot of money to do that. And psychologically, there is that inner gap in your spirit that knows that you didn't push for the best. If you are true to yourself, you know that there's that hole, that missing link, that thing that tells in your spirit you didn't do your best. And so that is that nagging thought of unfulfilled destiny, unfulfilled purpose. And that can lead into a life of just pure unhappiness and low self-esteem. And there's one thing I have seen, and I've seen it in play actually, where somebody goes, oh, look at this young doctor. Who does he think he is? After all, that could have been me. I would have been the doctor if I had decided to become a doctor when I had the chance. So you get into a that could have been me syndrome, and you get jealous of those who actually get it done. And you basically make yourself sick, and you could die a premature death from sickness because you're always angry, right? So, and then you will always wonder, what if I had done it? Where would my life be? So young ones, please save yourself from all this and do the right thing for yourself. So everybody, please pay attention to this. Here's advice to everyone, particularly parents, young ones coming up. Don't let lack of money be the reason you didn't do the right thing. This is the advice number one I always give my kids. When Manny, my third one, was he finished his bachelor's, he got an opportunity to go for his master's. He said, oh, mom, it's about 64,000 USD a year. And I went, so what? Go apply for it. When you apply for it, something will show up. And when he applied for it, then he got the opportunity for a scholarship. And that was it. So don't let lack of money be the reason you didn't do the right thing. You've got to put your foot forward, and opportunities will show up after that. You don't wait for opportunities to just come. You got to put your foot forward. Don't let lack of money. I'm going to say the third time. Don't say, oh, because I don't have the money, I'm not going to follow my heart. I'm not going to follow my dreams. Number two, more haste, less speed. We've heard that. You got to spend time to get quality. Don't be in a rush to start making money. Don't be tempted by quick cash. You got to spend time. They say, where I come from, they say that the soup that is sweet is money that kills it. So if you want to make good soup, you spend money on it, right? So if you want to become something of quality in life, you got to spend time. So don't say that, oh, because that course is 10 years, I'm not going to go because it's so much time. At the end, you're better off. Think long term. Do the math. Do the math. Take a look at, all the options. Even if you have to borrow to get your education, take a look at my video on student loan. For God's sake, if you have to take a student loan, do that. Because when you graduate, you can pay them back. Why? Because some people go religion, say, oh, but don't borrow. God says do not borrow. But even the same, I know a place in the Bible where it says the woman should go borrow from her neighbor's vessel so she could have oil to sell, to make money to pay her bills, right? So sometimes you have to borrow to move forward. And then when you move forward, you're able to pay back your bills. So don't allow people who don't know the Bible to even teach you the things that are wrong, okay? Learn patience and persistence. Do not easily give up on the pathway to destiny. And we know that patience is a virtue for greatness. Now, for those of you who already have compromised your destiny and already took a shortcut, even if you feel like you're too old already, you may still be able, not everybody might, but you may still be in a position where you can retrace your steps. If your heart is tugging at you, if your destiny is tugging at you, you may still be able to retrace your steps and get back on track. Connect with me if you need help with that, okay? Whatever it takes, don't be found among those whose destinies are buried in the cemeteries of haste, in the cemeteries of shortcuts. Don't be found there. Whatever it takes, follow your dreams. And remember that whatever decision you take now will impact your future generations. So I've seen people who said, oh, my father was a plumber, my grandpa was a plumber, my great-grandpa was a plumber, so therefore I'm a plumber. So you've got to create a generation of excellence, not a generation of shortcuts. Don't put yourself and your generations in a position where you didn't do the right thing, therefore they won't do the right thing. Okay, and that's the end of part 10. If you've loved this, please subscribe, share, and please send this to everyone you love, everyone you care about, and have them subscribe and share as well. And God bless you. Have a good rest of your day. Okay, and so one more time, please avoid shortcuts. Shortcuts lead to early death. And so I love you. Please, God bless you and have a good day. Bye-bye.